This is that 66 Pacemaker, and I did a big, long elaborate video where I brought it up slowly on a variac to make sure that nothing was going to blow, and I was going to do a big lesson on that. And at the end of that process, I got absolutely nothing. Had to open it all up, and I found that because this panel had come loose over the years, like 7 different wires had broken, and I think I've got them all reconnected. Let's see how it's sounding now. This is through my external cab. So the treble's working. Bass is pretty anemic and doesn't do a lot. The amp overall is pretty anemic. That's dimed. And the tremolo works, but it's very weak. Now, all these are symptoms of old electrolytic caps. You've got these electrolytic cathode bypass caps here and there. You've got the actual big filter caps, which are not that big in this amp. I believe this amp is cathode biased, and I am not seeing any cathode bypass cap. Let's see. I'll have to look more carefully. It could be hidden somewhere, tucked away. You know, but all these things, those caps wear out, you lose signal, you lose oomph, you lose gain and clarity. Anyway, this will not be an expensive amp to repair. Given that I've got all these unused bits on this terminal strip, I should be able to replace the multi-section can cap with some radials, which will be higher quality. And I'll replace the axials on the cathode bypass stuff, and I'll check all the resistor values for drift and see where we're at. This should be a much healthier amp very soon with a much better sounding vibrato, more gain. Maybe I can make that bass actually do something. I don't see any real issue with it yet. I will test the speaker after this. It's a little bit difficult to do with this setup, but the speaker responds well to a 9-volt battery, and it measures okay. It measures 11.6 ohms, which is not atypical. A measurement to take with the DC meter on a 16 ohm speaker. That is a nominally 16 ohm speaker, and not to go too far into that, the impedance of a speaker varies with the frequency. And so the frequency that the meter tests with is a little bit low, about usually 11 or 12 ohms on a 16 ohm speaker. It's all kind of nominal, and it gets deep, but you know, if you measure 12 ohms on a speaker, it's a 16 ohm speaker. If you measure 6, it's a 8 ohm speaker. If you measure 3, it's a 4 ohm, etc., etc. Just always round up to the next standard. It'll pretty much do you good as a musician. As a tech, there are other things we've got to do and measure, but I'm not too concerned about the speaker, though it could sound terrible. It could have a tear in the cone. I will find out. But if it does, there is a world of great sounding 10-inch speakers out there, and this repair itself will not cost very much. I think the repair will cost less than the shipping from Canada, with all the problems that entailed. So check back on this very soon.